People, today is Saturday, March 8th, 2025, and it is about almost 6 o'clock in the morning. Here we are in southwestern Nevada, Nye County, west of Sun City, east of Death Valley, and south of Area 51. Hard scrabble country, hard scrabble people here. But here we are, and this is G.school, part of career services, where our goal is to help our students and interested people on their journey through this life. Monday through Friday, we focus on the other three legs of the table: the physical, mental, and emotional. The weekends, we focus on the spiritual side, which ultimately is the most important because we are a soul inside of a body. We're not a body with a soul, we're a soul with a body. And the idea is how to best honor the gift of life, honor the gift of being here, how to best honor that and prepare for what is next. And no, we're not saying work salvation through works. We're not saying that. We're saying it is through grace and grace alone. However, if you honor the gift, you're going to do certain things to prepare for what comes next. Works don't get you into salvation, except, when you think about it, when Jesus says, if you love me, you'll keep my commandments. And if you keep my commandments, you'll be one with the Father and I. And here are the things to do. Love God with all your heart, mind, and soul. Love one another as I have loved you. And make disciples of all nations. It's kind of like he's telling you to do works. The whole Protestant thing is based upon don't do works. Focus on your salvation. And that's kind of a Paul thing. It is a Paul thing, but there's other things in there and blah, blah. So we're just going by the red letter because for every expert, there's an equal and opposite expert. And you certainly can say the prophets are experts. You can say Paul is an expert, Peter's an expert, James is an expert. You certainly can say that. But everybody has to agree that Jesus is the expert. So Clarke's fourth law, for every expert, there's an equal and opposite expert. When you're in that situation, I guess the thing to do is find the best expert and just do what he says. Because there are equal and opposite experts. But can anybody be equal to the Creator incarnate? I don't think so. Today we are going to focus on a parable. Yeah, wow, this is going to be a first. We're actually going to do something out of the Bible, out of the New Testament, out of the Gospels, red letter, the parable of the sower. But before we do that, let's look and see on our worksheet any other important stuff. Advice from an 80-year-old: always accept an outstretched hand. I used to disagree with this, but now I'm going to begin agreeing with it. Because at the end of the day, it just doesn't matter. It just doesn't matter. The TED Talk for today, Jill Bolte Taylor, her stroke of insight. This is a Harvard brain scientist who had a stroke and was able to better experience and articulate what happened to her, what is in there, and what's going on with the brain. Seth Godin, I don't care. I just don't care. Let's see what that one's about. Could be a shorty. This is difficult. Care requires time and effort, and we can't care about everything all the way, all the time. If you're prepared to care about every element of your work, then you'll also have to decide to not care about something else. Because caring equally about everything means that someone else cares more than you do about something. If a non-customer doesn't like your product, perhaps it pays to not let it bother you. If there are features in your service that don't matter to your key customers, perhaps you can let them go. Deciding to care also requires you do the hard work of not caring. All right, there's some things to not care about. Okay, so we got that. We got Joe Bolte Taylor. Should we go to the parable of the sower? Matthew chapter 13, verse 3. As a farmer went out to sow his seed, a farmer went out to sow his seed. As he was scattering the seed, some fell along the path, and the birds came and ate it up. Some fell on rocky places where it did not have much soil. It sprang up quickly because the soil was shallow. But when the sun came up, the plants were scorched and they withered because they had no root. Other seed fell among the thorns, which grew up and choked the plants. Still other seed fell on good soil, where it produced a crop 160 or 30 times what was sown. Whoever has ears, let them hear. Okay, so what's going on? In the literal sense, the guy is out sowing seeds. He's throwing seeds. Maybe he has a pan or something to make it more seeds than just a little handful. So he's out throwing seeds. He's sowing seeds. And some of the seeds land on the rocky soil path, right? What do you say? Path. Fell along the path. Okay, so the trodden way, the hard way. So they're not going to get absorbed into the soil. All the birds came along, gone. Then some were thrown on, some fell on rocky places. Didn't have much soil. So a lot of rocks, not much soil. But they managed to get the soil sprung up. But when the sun came out, too hot, withered, gone. Other seed fell among the thorns, which grew up and choked them. So they fell on soil that was good enough, but there was other stuff there. Could be weeds. And then some fell on good soil and they produced a good crop. So what's the problem here? Is the problem where the seed is being sown? Because why not go find a good place to sow seeds? Why not do that? That seems like it makes the most sense, right? Find a good, number one rule about sowing seeds. Find a good place to sow seeds. Number two, before you sow the seeds, prepare the soil. Get the rocks out. Okay, that could be another thing. So what's going on here? Is it a bad sower? In other words, bad in the sense that he can't find a good place to sow seeds, or he doesn't care, lazy. All right, I gotta sow these seeds. I'm really mad. What difference does it make if a seed or two falls on the path or in rocky soil or in the thorns? 90% are going to get into the good soil anyway. And that might be a valid analysis, but that's not the picture Jesus is painting. Right? So is the sower a bad sower in the sense that he can't throw the seeds well? So he could be bad because he's just dumb. Could be bad because he's not coordinated enough. What is going on here? So you got to break it down. What's going on? Is the land bad? Is the sower dumb? Is the sower not good? Because once the seeds are sown, once they hit the ground, they are where they are, and nature takes over, right? So what's implied is wherever the seed gets sown, once it's out, it's out of the control of the sower, and it's really out of the control of the seed. If it's on fertile land, it's going to take root. If it's on rocky soil, it's going to sprout, but it won't last. If it's in thorns or weeds, it's in a bad place, it's not really going to grow. It's going to get choked out by the other things. They're going to get the sunlight. They're going to get the water. They're going to get the nutrients. So it's not going to do too well. And then at the harvest, that's another problem. And then you have some that fall on the good soil. And the ones that fall on the good soil produce tremendous amounts. So now that we understand sowing, what is, in a literal sense, what does that mean? How is it used? What is Jesus talking about? And he's talking about people. People who he is saying, repent and believe in the good news. Believe in the gospel. The kingdom of heaven is in our midst. It is within you. That's what it's really about. And the word will be how it will be received. So let's go to okay. When anyone hears the message about the kingdom and does not understand it, the evil one comes, snatches away what was sown in their heart. This is the seed sown on the path. Okay? When you hear the word and you don't understand it, that's thrown out on the path, on the road. And it gets carried away, it's gone. The seed falling on rocky soil, on rocky ground, refers to someone who hears the word and at once receives it with joy. Oh, wow, yeah, that's great. This is typical people in prison. Okay. But since they have no root, they only last a short time. When trouble or persecution comes because of the word, they quickly fall away. So this would illustrate most of the people in prison, when the prison ministry people, when the chaplain people, the Bible study people come, yeah, that was a great day. We got 2 more today. We saved 2 more. They said the sinner's prayer. Yeah, I got 2 more going to heaven. That's this group. Yeah, I'm saved. Great. Okay, but it doesn't last. The seed falling among the thorns refers to someone who hears the word, but the worries of his life and the deceitfulness of wealth choke the word, making it unfruitful. So those are the people hearing the word like, I don't know. That's like most of our students. But the seed falling on good soil refers to someone who hears the word and understands it. This is the one who produces a crop yielding 160 or 30 times what was sown. Okay. So that's the problem with prison ministry. That's what my paper is going to be about. My final project is going to be about. That's the nature of prison ministry right now. Except there's very little fertile soil. Or perhaps there's a lot of fertile soil, but the sower is so bad. Yeah, that's the path I'm going to go down. The sower is so bad. There's a lot of fertile soil. Everybody sees there's fertile soil, but the sower is not good. Because you don't sow until it's time to sow, right? You could have fertile soil, but it could be the wrong season. Could be too late in the year, too early in the year. There is a window. So you need a better sower. So now let's say the window is right, the timing is right. What does the sower need to do? He needs to be prepared. Take the time, go slow. But you say, well, what if he doesn't have a lot of time? He's told you got to sow the field before noon. And it's this big field. Do you care? So the current state of the world is we don't really care. If we go into prison, we save one soul. We have won. We've won. We saved a soul. Yeah, but you wasted all of the seed over there. You wasted your time. If you had slowed it down and been better focused on what you were doing, you could have gotten 2, 5, 10, 100. You could have gotten a lot more. So the responsibility is in the sower, not the ground. The parable focuses on the ground, not the sower. Focuses on where the seed lands, not the person sowing the seeds. So I think the twist of the paper, this theological foundation, is the sower, and the parable needs to be viewed from the perspective of not where the seed lands, but why or how to get the seed to land on more seeds on fertile soil. Or more robust seed. And more robust seed. That would be it. 2 things. More robust seed, better seed, and better sower. Because you could have better seed and the sower isn't any different, the result won't really be much different. Okay, well, a lot to ponder. This is mainly me spitballing with myself, thinking about my paper that I gotta send my stuff in on Monday, Tuesday at the latest. Slides, and go from there. All righty then. Okay, so that's what I'm thinking. That is what I'm thinking. And so we're 1740 in Saturday. Happy Sabbath, people. Happy Sabbath. Big busy day. Today is the Trinity Church helping evangelize, number 1. Number 2, the Republican Committee Central Meeting. Our people go there. Number 3 is bowling. Number 4 is what? Number 4. Miss Trinkle, good morning, Miss Trinkle, wherever you are. You're in my heart. Wow, golly gee. Okay, and with that, we'll say and cut. Bonk.